Every time you tell someone that you're living with HIV, instantly you become the expert. You're the person in the room that knows the most.
I had a lot of shame about my HIV. It was about 5 years before I shared it with really anyone else outside a very close-knit circle of people. I didn't want people to ask questions. I wasn't ready to have those kinds of conversations.
It came up about my diagnosis and being HIV positive. One of them very sheepishly asked about my sex life. And I said, well, the U=U campaign.
U=U, undetectable equals untransmittable, means that somebody living with HIV who's on effective treatment can't pass the virus on to their sexual partners. It's amazing. It's something that we've known as a scientific fact for a few years. The more people who know that, the more we can break down the stigma associated with HIV. For somebody like me who's living with HIV, knowing that I can't pass it on to my partner is a huge weight off my shoulders.
I don't see stigma, I see an opportunity for education. Be that my family, where I didn't know whose reaction would be what. The most surprising was my brother, who turned around and knew more than I did at that point, as he's a tattooist.
I'm safer, if not as safe, as anybody else in the street. But in a way I am safer because I know my diagnosis, I know I take my medication, I have regular checks, and I am undetectable.
I got a lot of support around my mental health, and that really helped me. And then finally I started talking to other people living with HIV, and that was a bit of a game changer, really. And so now I'm able to talk openly about my HIV status.
I often get asked the question of, is this indicative of your lifestyle? And that's the one that I love educating people about most. Are you asking, am I gay? Am I bisexual? Am I a man who has sex with men? Am I an injecting drug user? Am I promiscuous, reckless, negligent? Do I engage with sexual workers in foreign nations? There's so many things that you could be asking, but quite simply, the only thing that actually you can educate people about with HIV, of it being indicative of, is being human. The clue's in the name. It's human immunodeficiency virus.
One of the things I found really difficult was talking to medical professionals, like explaining U=U or explaining what it's like to live with a virus. I found that quite tiring.
One question got asked, so what about your life expectancy? And I turned around and said, well, my life expectancy is gonna be a standard normal length of time. If anything, I may end up living longer because I have more checks. Living to a ripe old age, I intend to do.
Every part of your life, that education is huge and important, but also you need to be strong and understand to be able to educate and support everyone around you.
I'm the Senior Positive Voices Coordinator at the Terence Higgins Trust, so I run the Positive Voices programme. We are a group of people living with HIV, mostly volunteers, and we go and tell our stories to schools, colleges, universities, workplaces, health and care professionals, and others. And we educate people about HIV, about transmission and prevention, but also we tell our personal stories of living with HIV and the stigma and discrimination that can be associated with HIV.
The modern medications we have now, I take one single tablet a day. That's my HIV. It is a part of me, it's not all of me.
Learn what you need to know so that you can educate those around you so that they can support you, but more important, so that they can then support the next person that tells them they have HIV.